Hey peeps! How's it going?
It's just what I heard.
This is Tanakville and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition. And so, if this is your first time that you connect with me in this fantastic series of Let's Play, and this is the first video that you watch, for some reason you decided to start at 11. Yeah, pump it up at 11. I'm Tanakville, I'm Italian, that's why my accent is weird. And I've decided to do, to play Inquisition for the umpteenth time, and do it with all of you. So, all of you that, for now, amount to a grand total of 0 people. But sometimes I see people coming and going, and that's enough, and that's fun. And I talk to myself all the time anyway, so... So, we talked with a few people here in Redcliffe. We are at that point in the story when we have to choose who do we want to ally with, and our choices are... Yeah, I want to do more to help. We have plenty of choices. We have two. We can choose the Templars, or we can choose the Mages. So, if you want to know why those two, you can watch the other videos. I could explain it to you, but as you maybe can perhaps begin to see, yeah, I'm a bit, verbally excessive, so it wouldn't end well.
May I help you?
So, while I was offline, I went and did a couple of things that were in the way of this going smoothly, like doing a little bit of small quests that we have picked up along the way, like the one where the two brothers, one a Templar, the other a Mage, were facing off some way, and one was saying to the other, if I find you I'll kill you, basically, now that you're a rebel mage. And I wait with our dad's sword in hand, and we found the body of the Templar and a group of smugglers behind him that we also killed. And they had a letter that said that basically there was this fake Sister Tanner.
I try to do what I can here, but with the Inquisition I can do more.
I know, baby.
Good day.
This fake Sister Tanner, who is not actually a Chantress sister, but a smuggler herself, and now we know it.
Make her watch over you.
Hello. Okay, let's go. I know you're a smuggler.
I found the letter you sent a Templar named Corin.
What? Shit. You can't prove anything. A letter from a rogue Templar. Nobody is going to care. So, what do you intend to do?
Barrack.
What kind of cut are they giving you? Have you got protection? I see a suspicious lack of guards. It looks to me like you've been cut loose. Maybe you should look for a new employer.
Are you serious?
Barrack is fantastic.
The high and mighty Inquisition needs smugglers. Alright, I'm in. Seems like the Inquisition is the safer bet these days.
I love this thing. I think this is the first time that we actually have the shaking hands with a new agent scene. This is supposed to trigger every time you recruit an agent. We already did that, but it didn't trigger. I don't know why. Sorry, from time to time I'm trying to drink, but I treated myself coming home tonight with a bubble tea, but they didn't give me the big straw, and so my metal straw that I have at home gets clogged up. I'm going to stop drinking this. So, it's later than usual, as you have probably seen, but as I was out, and I tried to see if someone from the other side of the pond was going to connect, since it's around first part of the afternoon over there in the US, in part of the US. Some part of the US is just after lunch. And it's, let's see, 10:30 p.m. here in Italy. We was told to go... Ooh, can you hear the bells? Oh, speaking of bells, ring that bell downstairs, down below in the video to subscribe. Pretty please. Also, if you can maybe click the like button. Okay, not gonna bother you anymore. So we were told to come to the chantry because we are in danger by the son of the man who has actually swept our mages and who is a Tevinter Magister. Bad news. Tevinter Magisters are bad news, and we know it. Hiccup. So, we're coming, and let's see. Mystery suspense. Rogues deal massive damage. Yes, they do. But are fragile. Yep. Getting into Redcliffe Chantry, and it's a place that we have seen already in Origins. And it's different, obviously, now.
Good. You're finally here. Now help me close this, would you?
Yes. And here we go. Let's have a fight with some demon. I actually adore this moment, and if you want to see it without comments and without interruption, you can do that by clicking on the other videos that I have on my channel, where you can see there is one called How to Make an Entrance, and you'll see this scene with another one of my characters, not with Ileani, who actually at the time is being kicked in the arse, and you can see it without me babbling on it. So Dorian, please do something. You're about to meet one of my favorite characters in all the Dragon Age franchise. So let's.
Fascinating. How does that work exactly? You don't even know, do you? You just wiggle your fingers and boom.
Basically, yeah.
Who are you?
Ah, getting ahead of myself again, I see. Dorian of House Pavus, most recently of Minrathous. How do you do? Magister Alexius was once my mentor, so my assistance should be valuable, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Okay. He's fantastic. I absolutely love him, and you will too. Where is Felix?
I was expecting Felix to be here.
I'm sure he's on his way. He was to give you the note, then meet us here after ditching his father.
So, we're going to ask something that it's... I know the answer to it, but...
Are you a Magister?
All right, let's say this once. I'm a mage from Tevinter, but not a member of the Magisterium. I know Southerners use the terms interchangeably, but that only makes you sound like barbarians.
So it's basically I'm a high-ranking position in the German war army, but I'm not a Nazi. Basically, I'm sorry. It's the comparison is not that far off, but honestly, a bit lighter than this. Let's try to stay lighter. Not every Tevinter mage is a magister. Magisters are few, and it's a position that you actually have to earn. His dad is a magister. Why? Help us.
You're betraying your mentor because...
Alexius was my mentor. Meaning he's not any longer. Not for some time. Look, you must know there's danger. That should be obvious even without the note. Let's start with
I
Alexius
do
claiming
know.
the allegiance of the Mage rebels out from under you.
Exactly.
As if by magic, yes? Which is exactly right. To reach Redcliffe, before the Inquisition, Alexius distorted time itself.
Oh, so that's what he did.
He arranged it so he could arrive here just after the Divine died.
You catch on quick.
Well,
That
not
is
so much.
fascinating if true, and almost certainly dangerous.
The rift you closed here. You saw how it twisted time around itself, sped some things up and slowed others down.
Yeah.
Soon, there will be more like it, and they'll appear further and further away from Redcliffe. The magic Alexius is using is wildly unstable, and it's unraveling the world.
Ooh. Sorry. As per usual, the voice actor for Dorian Pavus is Ramon Tikram. Am I saying his name right? I hope so. And who is also a fantastic actor. So look him up. He's done tons of movies. One of my favorite of his is a movie called Kama Sutra, and it's an amazing movie. Don't let yourself be fooled by the title. It's not a porn movie. There is sex there, but Indira Varma is with him in the same movie, and Indira Varma is the voice actress for Vivian. And on this note, this is a lot to swallow.
You're asking
sorry.
me to take a lot on faith.
I'm really, really
I
sorry.
know what I'm talking about. I helped develop this magic. When I was still his apprentice,
Dorian is
it
a
was
developer.
pure theory. Alexius could never get it to work. What I don't understand is why he's doing it. Ripping time to shreds just to gain a few hundred lackeys?
He didn't do it for them.
Welcome,
Took you
Felix.
long enough. Is he getting suspicious?
No, but I shouldn't have played the illness card. I thought he'd be fussing over me all day. My father's joined a cult, Tevinter Supremacists. They call themselves Venatori. And I can tell you one thing. Whatever he's done for them, he's done it to get to you.
Okay, so my comparison earlier wasn't that far off. Hi, Anto, by the way. So, why are you telling me this exactly?
Alexius is your father. Why are you working against him?
For the same reason Dorian works against him. I love my father, and I love my country. But this? Cults? Time magic? What he's doing now is madness. For his own sake. You have to stop him.
Yeah.
It would also be nice if he didn't rip a hole in time. There's already a hole in the sky.
So, just for the record, why does he want me?
Why would he rearrange time and indenture the Mage Rebellion just to get to me?
They're obsessed with you. But I don't know why. Perhaps because you survived the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
You can close the rifts. Maybe there's a connection. Or they see you as a threat.
If the Venatori are behind those rifts or the breach in the sky, they're even worse than I thought.
So, by the way, Anto, you were asking in jest, does the lore say anything about charm spells? But, actually, there are spells in Dragon Age lore that influence the way people see you. And so, those are, in a sense, charm spells. But they're actually a form of blood magic. So, they're very Tevinter. And they are very frowned upon. We will talk about blood magic later.
All this for me. And here I didn't get Alexius anything.
Send him a fruit basket. Everyone loves those. You know you're his target. Expecting the trap is the first step in
Season
turning
is
it to
silly
your
and
advantage.
Varric approves.
I can't stay in Redcliffe. Alexius doesn't know I'm here, and I want to keep it that way for now. But whenever you're ready to deal with him, I want to be there. I'll be in touch. Oh, and
Please
Felix,
do.
try not to get yourself killed.
There are worse things than dying, Dorian.
Okay, this scene always reminds me of that exchange in Sherlock. I don't remember if it's the first season or Yeah, I think it's the first season when Mycroft says, Sherlock says to Mycroft, try not to start a war. You know what it does to traffic. Basically the same energy. So this is the Redcliffe Chantry. As you can see, is a bit different from the way it looked in Dragon Age Origins. It seems, even if it's more detailed, it seems smaller than it was. Okay, let's pick this up for Researcher Minave. This door here is where we went in Origins to talk with the revered mother, in order to free Sten, if you remember. And this door here had a bunch of stuff that I usually steal. Here you couldn't get behind here in Origins. Now you can, and we're gonna steal stuff. We're going to steal from the church. But we're Dalish. We don't give a fuck about the church, do we? I'm sorry. Look at those windows, painted windows though. Beautiful. You could, let's see, there's those. I think the first one, it's the Magisters who are going into the Fade, and they are trying to reach the Golden City in the seat of the Maker, and in doing so they are cast out and they ruin the Golden City. That becomes the Black City, you see in the down part of the window. And by doing that, they are cast out from heaven, basically, from the Fade, and they start the first Blight. So they become Darkspawn, and they unleash the Blight upon the world. Doom upon the world. It's the word used in the script, in the Chant of Light. That's Andraste. I don't know what she's doing, but that's Andraste receiving, probably talking with the Maker. As you can see, it's very Joan of Arc. That's Andraste freeing the elves, the elven slaves, I think. I don't know the rest. That's also Andraste, crowned with the key. Oh, I don't know. I had to study better. Anyway, this is Andraste betrayed. She gets captured by Tevinter because Maferath, I think, betrays her. And then, no, Maferath is the Tevinter general. I don't remember the name of the Andraste's general who betrays her. Very Judas style. And this is Hessarian. Maferath is the betrayer. Hessarian is the Tevinter general. You can see in this panel above us here, when she's on the pyre and she's burning, and she's dying painfully. He gets touched by her grace and by her Maker, or by pity, and he stabs her in the heart, killing her and sparing her the suffering of the flame. And this is Andraste basically ascending to the Maker's side. So, after this little class in Andrastian law and religion, let's see if we can steal something else from her faithful. I know, I'm so bad. The Troubles of a Chantry Scholar. Is this Genitivi? Let's see. Yeah, this is Genitivi. Is it? Yeah. Except from a lecture by Brother Genitivi at the University of Orlais. Okay, I absolutely adore Brother Genitivi. He's a character you encounter in the first game in Dragon Age Origins, and he's strange. He's a writer. He's the most famous writer in Thedas, and he's a scholar of the Chantry, so it's a bit strange, though. He's absolutely an amazing character. And yeah, I haven't said it in this live stream yet. You can meet Brother Genitivi in one of the fantastic tales in Tevinter Nights. Read Tevinter Nights, please. I need someone who read that to discuss, please. So, or don't read Tevinter Night until, obviously, until you finished.
Does Tevinter really need cults? Aren't they weird enough?
They have torn open time itself. So no, I doubt they truly need a cult as well.
No, no one needs cults, honestly. As I was saying, okay, read Tevinter Nights, please, but don't read it unless you have played Dragon Age Inquisition until the very end, and all the DLCs as well, especially Trespasser. If you haven't played through Trespasser and the Descent, yeah, I don't recommend you play reading Tevinter Night unless you don't care about spoilers. But you probably understand very little, so you can watch all my live stream and discover stuff with me.
You're the rightful heir to Redcliffe. In Tevinter, they would never take that away just because you're a mage. After what I did, I'm not even sure I should be here. It's not your fault. It could have happened to any of us. That doesn't help. That's why people hate us. But just stop. You don't know what you're talking about.
This guy here is Connor. Connor Green is the son of the Earl of Redcliffe, okay? So basically the ruler who has disappeared, and Magister Alexius just said that he simply went away. Connor is his son. We saved him in Dragon Age Origins. He was possessed by a desire demon. He involuntarily killed a lot of people because being possessed, he made a mess. He summoned undead, and he really did the mess. He was very little. And here we can see him 10 years later, all grown up. He was a mage in the circle, and we can talk with him. And he will break your heart, honestly.
Are you Connor?
You've heard the story, I guess. I can't believe King Alistair thought Redcliffe was the right place to send the mages. I mean, he grew up here. Did he think they would just forget what I did to them?
Hey. Okay. Let's see that.
You were behind the siege of Redcliffe 10 years ago.
That's me. The boy with Redcliffe's blood on his hands.
Honestly, it wasn't your fault. He tried to save his dad, tried to save his father, and in doing so he summoned a demon because he was a mage and he didn't know that. And you can say actually they should have killed you. I won't never find the courage to say that. Even in my evil playthrough, I simply didn't talk with Connor.
Weren't you possessed? It wasn't you who did those things.
Wasn't it? I let the demon in. Sometimes when I dream, I remember what happened.
Sorry.
I see the death and destruction, and it's me. It's all me.
As you can see, the guy is just a little bit traumatized. What happened to Arl Eamon?
Why isn't Arl Eamon in power anymore?
After the lands meet, he stayed in Denerim. I couldn't be his heir, not after what happened. So eventually he passed the title to Uncle Tegan.
If you remember Tegan, sorry, there's a meme, recurring gag from Origins where Isolde has this Orlesian accent that everyone finds hilarious. Tegan was his younger brother, the early younger brother. He didn't have a fun and good time during Origins either. Why did you join the rebels?
How did you end up in the Mage Rebellion?
I was living in the Ferelden Tower when the circles dissolved. I voted against it, but at first it seemed all right. No one was summoning demons. They just wanted to oversee themselves. But then the Magister came, and it's wrong what they do in Tevinter. We are monsters. We need to be controlled. If it wasn't for me, every family in this village wouldn't be missing a son, a daughter, a spouse.
Ouch. This is honestly very hard to hear. It's heartbreaking because this guy, he is basically blaming himself for the death of dozens and dozens of people in Redcliffe and for what happened to the castle. And if you want my opinion, I don't suppose you do, but you're gonna get it anyway. I don't think it was his fault. I think it was more his old fault, his mother. And it was his mother and his father's fault. His father, as you probably, it's implied that Arl even didn't know that Connor was presenting symptoms of being a mage, that the boy had magic and the connection with the Fade. But I don't know. It's not very clear. It's not very clear. But I don't think it's Connor's. Connor is not to blame. He was a very young boy who saw his dad dying. He was poisoned. Long story. And he tried to save him, and he didn't know what he was doing. Didn't absolutely know what he was doing, and a demon took advantage of this. It's not like he actually intentionally summoned a demon. It's absolute. Even if I'm absolutely pro-mage, and I think the circles are a corrupt institution that has to be changed and destroyed, I think that mages obviously need guidance from other mages, probably, and from other people who know what they're doing. If young Connor had been sent to the circle, or at least if there was a mage behind his education, all that death and destruction wouldn't have happened. Besides this, I think they made a fantastic job in growing Connor up. He looks exactly like the young boy we saved in Origins, and his voice actor is fantastic. It's heartbreaking here. I didn't find a name. I will look for it later a bit better. Obviously doesn't approve of Tevinter. I don't want to go there. I'll leave you alone. Bye, Connor.
I need to be going.
Please, talk some sense into the Grand Enchanter. Selling out to the Imperium won't win us any friends. We have to find a way to make peace.
Okay, Connor, sorry I have to go, truly. And it's very... it's horrible. Everything is so fucking horrible. And since we are here, let's see. I don't remember. I don't think we can go in here without the perk find tools left hand, but let's see.
May could be with you.
We do. We are able to open this up. Oof. And okay, this is going to be so far quite the heavy-handed stream in terms of themes and discoveries, because ooh,
The Venatori have made the Oculara and are using them to search for something. Something like those old shards, presumably.
okay, this is so creepy. And as you can see, we have all these skulls that Solas just told us are called Oculara. That's plural in Latin for ocularium. And do you remember, they light up those shards around the countryside. And let's see. Okay.
So each ocularum is made from the skull of a tranquil.
I had wondered what became of those poor souls when the circles collapsed. Now we know.
I figured they'd fled with the rebel mages. Poor
No.
bastards.
I had wondered what had become of them when the mages rebelled. What a tragic waste.
Okay, this is another one of those things that it's so dark and so fucking unjust, and horrible, and it's so well done in Dragon Age. So basically, remember when I told you last time that if you are dangerous in some way, really dangerous, or the Templars and they're trying to just suspect you of being dangerous or unruly, they can basically lobotomize you and you become tranquil. Your connection to the Fade gets cut, you don't dream anymore, and you don't feel anymore. You have no feeling whatsoever anymore. So when that happens, you lose a lot of what makes you human. And that said, obviously when the Circle rebelled and when the Circle burned and crashed very, very recently, not everyone thought about, ooh, we're running away from the Circle. Let's bring our friends, the Tranquil Mages, with us. They didn't help the other mages escape. Basically, not most of them. Tevinter came. They got them, and they killed them, and they made those skulls with their heads. And remember, this is not something that is happening, that happened in this setting ages ago. It just happened. The skulls were alive people less than, let's say, 5 months ago. No, less than that, because it's all very recent, less than a month ago. And there is all the time travel fuckery at work. So every time we will look through one of those skulls, we know we are looking through the head of a lobotomized mage. Yay! Inquisition is such a fun game! Yay.
What world is this? That demons and brigands stop a man from taking flowers to his wife's shrine.
I can take the flower. Oh,
Flowers to your
please
wife's
let me
shrine.
take the flowers. So far, I'm doing this stream is going to be so fucking depressing. I'm sorry.
Thank you. You were Dalish. My sinner and I, we kept to the old ways as we could. Though I know we are as children to you.
No,
The
you're
shrine
not.
lies on a hill to the west.
You're kind of a silver fox, though.
Thank you.
Bye. I'm gonna.
Stay safe.
You, Foxy Widow, I'm gonna bring flowers to your wife's tomb. Anto says, which sadly mirrors some real work used for the so-called hysteria, precisely. Obviously, the old tranquil solution is written in ways that recalls very much what happened and what it still happens in some part of the world when you are considered unruly and hysterical and you don't conform to what society wants from you, especially if you're a woman. Yay! Okay, I'm not gonna try and open that door. That's where this compass is pointing, because I know that you require a perk to do so. So we're not gonna lose this time. And we're gonna do something funnier, okay? Because honestly, it's all becoming a bit heavy-handed. And tonight I wanted to do something funnier. But first of all, let's go back to Haven for a second and do some nice war table mission. And maybe talk a bit with our companions and lighten up the mood a bit, okay? So, since it's two of us right now, hello, I don't know who you are. One, it's Anton who's writing, and the other one of you, hello, and welcome to the stream. Just a little quick update. If I sound strange, my accent sounds strange, is because I'm Italian, I'm Tanakville. So if my accent is strange, I hope it's understandable, because I'm Italian, so sometimes I probably mispronounce stuff, and I hope it's more hilarious than not understandable. Then I'm gonna bother you saying please subscribe and like, and then I'm gonna stop with all this nonsense and let's go back to Dragon Age Inquisition. So we're back at Haven. We're gonna do something that gets me going. We're gonna talk with our friend Iron Bull, and we're gonna lighten up the mood a bit. So if you played the other games, you remember that the Kunari were kind of mysterious, and you didn't learn much about in Dragon Age origins and not much about in Dragon Age 2. I actually read a critique of Dragon Age Inquisition that said, recently in a group, that said that they didn't like much the fact that Iron Bull gives away a bit of Qunari's secrets and they feel less mysterious than they used to do. But I think he balances that by giving you a very real, a very gritty experience. Hello, Bull. I'm gonna talk to you now.
They've got good form. Cullen's putting his Templar training to good use.
Did Cullen tell you he was a Templar? He's not wearing the armor.
He didn't have to. Might not be a Templar shield, but it's a Templar holding it.
Hey.
He angles the shield just a bit down. Helps direct fire or acid away, so it doesn't spray right into your face. Qunari learned the same thing when we trained to fight Tevinter Mages.
You see?
Your Templar's doing good work.
Okay, if you're playing Inquisition after this, always talk to Bull when you want some particular insight on things, because remember, is this gigantic mass of muscles and horns and horniness, but he's also a spy, a Ben Aserath, and he's one of the sharpest minds the Inquisition has. You could always help.
You sound like you want to head down there and give the troops some pointers.
Nah, I'm no good at command unless I know who my guys are sleeping with and what they like to drink. Inquisition's already too large for that. The charges are big enough for me. Biggest problem for the Inquisition right now isn't on the front line. It's at the top. You've got no leader.
Oops.
No Inquisitor.
He's right, though. Okay, honestly, you can answer this question however you like. I always thought that the most logical was we've got Cassandra.
Cassandra's been the driving force of this Inquisition. She's the leader in all but name.
Cassandra's a seeker. From what I gather, that's a bit like a Ben Hustler. She's a good hunter and a great fighter, but she doesn't see the big picture. Too busy searching for answers. My people don't pick leaders from the strongest, or the smartest, or even the most talented. We pick the ones willing to make the hard decisions.
You see, Qunari inside.
Consequences. Who knows? Maybe you sealed the breach. The Chantry gets off its ass and all those soldiers go home and get fat.
You think?
It could happen. It won't. But it could.
I love you so much, Bo. It could happen. It won't, but it could. Yeah, let's go talk with someone else. So, as you can see, Iron Bull gives you a bit of insight in what the Qunari actually are, and not just the mystique or the mystery of them. We need to talk with Varric a bit more, but not today. And how the Qunari think, basically. Let's go in and pick up a new song, maybe.
Got you anything to eat while you're here? It is not time.
Nothing new.
You were a mage once, right?
Have you caught this exchange from them? Flissa, who is the girl who runs the tavern, asks her, who is a tranquil mage, do you want something to eat? And she replies very flatly, it is not time to eat yet. And that's how tranquils are. Okay, maybe I think we discovered all the songs that we can for now. Because some songs actually come up only after certain events. It makes sense because they refer those events, so you cannot get those songs before. Ooh, there's something to read that I never did actually read here. Oh, this is fantastic. Oh, we have something lighter, basically, fucking finally. The Randy Dowager Quarterly, a well-worn quarterly missive of suspect virtue. I'm sorry, I have to go into the part. The Randy Dowager welcomes the cool of autumn with the fall of another. The collected Dreams of desire, being the confession of an apprentice and training more furrowing than harrowing, forbidden talents at their most spirited. The Randy Dowager, exhibition for the noble of thought, but spry of step. The lady herself says, enchanting, one supports the circles, if only because closed doors offer the heirs fluttered in shock out of 5. R.D. Randy Dowager. Okay, I could have done better. I will do better in the future, but I absolutely adore all these fake books. Oh, not fake, in-game, in lore, in universe book. The Randy Dowager Quarterly is this, obviously, quarterly issued pamphlet. I don't know how to call that. Anyway, it comes out with, obviously, smutty stories like this one called Dreams of Desire, and I can absolutely see the nobles, but more than that, the commoners and the not probably the poor people, or I don't know, the farmers and the shepherds of Thedas, but in cities and such, reading this kind of stuff, absolutely I can see them. And the Randy Dowager, if you've read Tevinter Nights, exactly, you will know that there is a big surprise regarding the Randy Dowagers. But it's time for us to go and speak with Solus. Solus, you have thick thighs. I'm sorry, Thailand.
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You think it survived?
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach
Barely.
is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
As you can see, always try to ask for more information with Solus, and he will be happy. I kind of agree now, yeah?
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
Yeah, always. Honestly, Solus, I would need you for something very specific, but it's not the time. So, tell me about, I don't know, the Fade?
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal, from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
Hey, Solus, what do you know about the Fade? A lot. Oh, gosh. He's so dorky and adorable. I don't know. Tell me about the Veil.
I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade. But according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
You know, if you've played, you know that I'm asking very loaded questions, but that sounds marvelous, Solus. I'm batting my eyelashes now.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality. Where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful. And the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
No, you're not alone, darling. Solus' voice actor is Gareth David Lloyd, is absolutely fantastic, and it does an amazing job in giving his voice to Solus. You could probably... I'm gonna stop here for now.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Bye. you could know him if you have watched. Wow, oh, mosquito, go away! If you have watched Torchwood, for example, and the Doctor Who spin-off, because he was playing Yant Jones in there. Già. Sempre per le tragedie noi, perché se no non siamo contenti. Okay, we talk with someone else and then we go. Okay. The Fade. We just talk with Solus and now we have the Fade. The study of the Fade is as old as humankind. See, this has been written not by an elf. So, for long as men have dreamed, we have walked its twisting paths, sometimes catching a glimpse of the city at his heart. Always as close as our own thoughts, but impossibly separated from our words. Is this Jenny TV? Because if this is Jenny TV, I'm gonna lose my mind. No. This is Enchanter, first Enchanter, Josephus. We don't know first Enchanter of which circle and when it worked. But speaking about circles, okay, it's time to get basically whipped. Before we go in, I don't like the way every confrontation with Vivienne is written. Not okay. If anyone from BioWare ever comes to listen to this, I adore the way you write characters. Sometimes I wish some things were done differently. In talking with Vivienne, it's almost impossible to come out with the upper hand, and that's okay. But she always makes you sound like you said something really, really stupid, and you have no chance of not saying something stupid. Or, I don't know, she's always right, you know? Even when you have the means, your character should have the means to talk with her and say something less stupid. So, let's get whipped.
You've never been to a circle, as far as I can tell, yet you're remarkably skilled. Were you self-taught?
Not at all. I studied magic with Keeper Deshana.
I have heard about the traditions of magic among the Dalish keepers, but it's all third-hand. In my own experience, nothing is more deadly to a young mage than a lack of knowledge, which makes the current state of things precarious. What do you imagine will happen if the circles are not restored? Do you foresee the Dalish taking us all under their wing?
So this is basically what I just said regarding Connor. A mage without guidance is very dangerous for himself and for the others. But, that said, okay, this chaos harms everyone. Yes and no. The rebels are apostates and the water is wet. Justice is all that matters. Anders will think so. Will think so, absolutely. We need the circle restored. Hard pass. She's a Dalish. The Templars made their beds. Mages should be free. Okay, I'm a Dalish elf. Dalish, whatever you call. I don't have all the background here to say this stuff, and if we're going to roleplay a bit, I'm gonna say the Templars made their beds. I usually say the mages should be free with my human mage playthroughs. From what she said, she's seeing Templars made a mess of things.
I don't like the war either, but Templars won't listen to reason.
Well, on that, we agree. Justinia's death has shattered the balance of power in Thedas. If it is not restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
So we basically avoided the answer. And avoided being scolded. And you have to decide.
That's why you wanted to be here, to have a hand in deciding that fate.
Wouldn't you? For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
Okay, absolutely not. The chantry will be restored. I used to change things. No one should have that power. Andraste chose me hard pass. I mean, undecided between these two. But I kind of think that no one should have that power.
Nobody should claim to know the will of the Maker.
Oh.
Not me and not the Chantry.
Perhaps nobody should. But if no one leads the way, many will be left behind in darkness. I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you.
So it went surprisingly well.
When there was no sky maker.
You were the sky. It went surprisingly well because I usually end up in bad terms with Vivienne exactly at this first conversation.
Not sure why you would want to pay out of your own pocket for books, Enchanter.
But going around the thing in a Dalish way, I actually ended up more diplomatic than I usually do. Because I usually tell Viv to go fuck herself very, very quickly. I absolutely like her as a character, but all the time, and I cannot put myself in a situation where I don't fight with her about things. And even in my quotes evil playthrough, I tried so hard to be her friend. It didn't work. But anyway, she's a very hard woman to please. Ooh, we finally have some points in Inquisition perks to use. So let's get another one of these, like... yes, eagle-eyed. That's not bad. So that we can be closer to that deft hands fine tool perk that we need so much. Ooh, we addressed a nobleman concern. Remember the noble who wanted the filthy refugees and mages away from his land? Ambassador Montelier. So the Inquisition is a hollow prank, a jest to swindle the righteous. The tide of apostates and demons swells on my doorstep as you do nothing. My death will be on your head and the heads of all the other charlatans of the Inquisition, and it will leave a stain so dark the Maker himself could not remove it. Oh, dear Lord Kildan, be a bit more dramatic, would you? Oh, good riddance. Then, I love the nobles of Thedas. Why do you say though? Okay, absolutely. The Inquisition needs bees. Sarah. I do not know how someone would come to this idea, but I can see the use. It's a large area to search, however. A memo from Josephine written on a note from Sarah. Hiccups, sorry. Know what ruins a party? Bees. I know a man who teaches how to jar them safe, but angry. Stinky, no good for honey, but great for throwing. He's somewhere south. Sarah has scribbled a jar of bees hitting someone in the face. Also a butt. Okay, I'm 3 years old and I adore when Sarah does this stuff. I can send runners among the bands. If there's peddling them to fighting forces, my people will find the trail. It's too large an area to cover. Bounty hunters has a simple bet. But it's gonna run. My people will find the trail.
Let's see what we have.
Basically, I think in 80% of the missions, Liliana is a good choice. There are very few missions where Liliana is not a good choice. I know what we're gonna do next. Let's see here. We're going to do this because honestly, after we found out that the Oculara are what they are, creepy. Ooh, the chant remains. Just it's done. As expected, the clerics who spoke most loudly against us were trying to cover the lack of character. They are silenced, and the rest of the chantry has taken note. They can be counted political allies for now, at least until our detractors discover other ways to strike out. I will watch carefully for that moment. Liliana, as you can see, we're talking about the chantry, and you have all the little windows with the story of Andraste we've seen in the chantry before, and the sigil is a nightingale because that's Liliana's nickname. Basically, okay, in the sigil, that's a crow. I could be wrong, but that's a crow. Anyway, crows are connected to Liliana as well. So this is done. As I was saying, we're going to investigate the shards because now that we know the skulls are made from dead mages, basically, dead lobotomized mages, it's super creepy, and we want to know what the fuck are those shards. So we're gonna. Sister Liliana, the shards acquired by the Herald of Andraste are unlike anything I've encountered. Though ancient in origin, few have been recovered before now. The breach must have disrupted whatever ancient magic was concealing them from view. Sorry, the breach must have disrupted whatever ancient magic was concealing them from view. Remember when I tell you, underline this part, pocket it, and remember it for later. I have heard of one scroll that mentions the shards. It belonged to the Circle Tower in Markham. However, after the circles fell, the Sorrel family seized many of the valuables as compensation for a donation made after their mage son was taken here. They intend to sell the scroll along with everything else at a private auction. Enchanter Renault, hastily scrolled below. Josephine, if this ancient magic is tied to the breach or can offer some advantage against it, we need to know. Can you get us into that auction? The answer is obviously yes. A few well-placed rumors should incite bidding wars on other items, leaving the scroll for us. And with just 4 points of power, or power points, Sister Liliana, with thanks to our Lady Ambassador, I was able to study the scroll. The reference is vague, but it implies a connection to a temple, possibly elven. I followed the lead and believe one such temple stands in an oasis in the western approach. As to what may lie within, I cannot say. Reports of the place are cut off from... Reports of the place are cut off or have pages missing. I have yet to find a reliable first-hand account. Perhaps our soldiers can provide a better one. Enchanter Renault. Enchanter Renault is very useful and helpful. So, as you can see, we have the Oculara here as an icon. Very nice. Okay, we're going to venture forth to the Forbidden Oasis just for a second. And then we're going to cut off for tonight. I would love to go on, but honestly, more than an hour, I think it's a bit much. Yes, Solas, you're coming with. We're gonna take Blackie, and we're gonna take... Well, we're gonna take Varric. So, the Forbidden Oasis is one of those maps in Inquisition. If you think we've seen a lot of the maps of the game so far, you're wrong. There are many more. And the Forbidden Oasis is one of those maps that are mostly hated by the majority of the players. Vehemently, oserei dire. Okay, you see what I did there? I sometimes split the phrase from Italian to English, English to Italian. That happens when I'm a bit tired, but not a problem. I see... oh no, it looked like... Most people hate the Forbidden Oasis. I kinda like it. Honestly, I like the desert maps.
Come to join us at the Oasis?
Yay!
It's actually quite the sight. It and the temple are further in.
Tell me about the temple.
Have you learned anything more about the temple?
Honestly, I don't like the feel of the place. No one does.
Why not?
Couldn't say. It's just a feeling.
Anything else I should know?
Not much to tell. A mining company out of Val-Fermin used to have an interest here, but economies change, and they moved on. Strange the miners never marked the temple on their maps.
And she disappeared. Okay. Scout Harding has gained the ability to disappear. Yeah. I'm going to be such a good girl. I'm going to talk with you every time. No, not every time. I'm going to tire of hearing something to report, sir, every time. So this is the Forbidden Oasis. As you can see, there's a whole lot of nothing on one side. Let's show you around. A whole lot of nothing on this side, yes. And then a big chunk of rocky nothing on the other side, with some buildings. We're going to be good and start on this side and explore a bit, and the first thing that we see, it's one of those skulls. And if I were playing in, I don't know, a tabletop role-playing campaign of Inquisition, Dungeons and Dragons style, my character would be majorly creeped out now that they know what those are. And if I were a mage, I would probably refuse to use them. And the game master would probably hate me for it. But anyway, we're gonna. I'm going in. So let's see. The only thing that these things are actually useful for is that when you are exploring your surroundings, looking for shards. Why am I not? Okay, that should be the third. Oh no, that's another oculara. Ocularum. Okay, let's stop pronouncing Latin words with in English accent. It's pretty hard to skip from the English pronunciation of Latin to actual Latin pronunciation, so to say oculara, and then or ocularum, and then go back to pronouncing English words correctly, especially because the R's are really different. And I see you, okay, no, where's, okay, there you are, and we're done. We know the location now of 5 other shards. Okay, I'm going to do something here. Okay, I'm going to snap a picture of you because you look nice, all of you. Cheese. Sorry, I had to do this. And we are back, but briefly, because we're going to wrap it up for today. So no bears here, just this one. Say hello, Blackwell. And next time we're going to explore this zone a bit. Then we're probably going to go back to the Storm Coast, probably, or I'm going to do that a bit offline so that we can speed things up a bit, and I will save and I will spare you the most boring exploring parts. And as you can see, we do have rifts, fade rifts around here, and I should start, when I say, hey, remember this thing, remember it for later, I should start actually remembering it for later. I know why I say that, but I should start and write it down, because I'm finding new clues and stuff while I play. For what, you say? You'll find out. Oh, and the fact that poor Varek is wearing plaid weave, it's not intentional. There was this armor, it was better than the one he was wearing, but the fact that he's forced to wear those horrible trousers, he's done nothing wrong. Usually you put only characters who wronged you in plaid weaves. And with this wind howling in the distance, I'm going to bid you good night. And I hope to see you next time. I'm going to start streaming a bit later than usual, probably. So more around the evenings than the late afternoons, because that's closer to what I'm gonna be able to do when I get back to work very soon. And as usual, please like and subscribe to my channel to be notified when I go live again, so I don't have to tell you. See you next time. We're going to do a bit of exploring, and then we're gonna go and save some soldiers that find themselves in a pesky situation. Or maybe we're gonna go
Once you
and
leave this place, it's just sand for miles.
yeah, and see what those mages
here for a mining contract?
what those mages have to say to us actually, and what that Alexis character is trying to do. So see you next time. Have a good night. Bye.